In this video, I want to share with you how I closed $30,000 in new cash whilst traveling with zero new content posted. By the end of this video, you're going to learn some incredible strategies and learn exactly why you feel burnt out, unable to travel and make money at the same time. And I'm going to give you the cheat codes that you need to fix this stuff. Let's get into it. So most people think that posting more equals more sales. This is the biggest belief that keeps 95% of all the coaches I've ever worked with absolutely poor and broke. Here's the thing that you need to know. Content without an infrastructure equals views with no cash. And views aren't fun if they're not paying you. Views are only fun when they actually pay you. Posting more doesn't necessarily always equal more sales. In fact, I didn't post for 30 days and still generated $30,000 because of what was set up before I left for my vacation. And I traveled for 30 days, went to Malaysia, Bali, Singapore. It was absolutely incredible. So the truth is, content should generate attention, which is good. But your systems need to convert that attention into paid clients, which I'm going to show you throughout the rest of this video. What you actually need is you need a sales engine that runs without you. And I'll show you mine behind the scenes, the exact one that's been working. So I was on vacation, as you can see, looking handsome and sexy as always. I did no launches, no promotions. I didn't even bring my laptop to most of the places that I went. I didn't do daily follow-up. I didn't do any story posting. And I barely had signal. In Bali, the signal is absolutely horrendous. Yet cash still came in because I'm not the bottleneck inside of my business. So my back end did the heavy lifting and the system operated like clockwork whilst I was on the beach. As you can see, looking very handsome, sexy, coconut in my hand and all that good stuff. So here's the deal. This is the exact breakdown of what you need to know if you want to be able to do this. Number one is pin posts. My pin posts pre-sold the offer with proof, process, and trust. Number two is story funnel, which nurtures my leads 24/7 while I'm offline. Number three is setters, which start conversations, qualify my leads, and book in sales calls so there's constant new cash opportunities. And finally, my closers, who run the sales calls and took Stripe payments. So let me give you an exact breakdown of each of these things. Here's a system that printed 30K while I was offline. So your 3-pin posts should consist of these 3 things. Number one is client case studies. The minute you land on my profile, you're going to see a mashup of client testimonials, people that I've got results for, and a call to action that says comment results, and I'll DM you with the exact same system that I used to help my clients. Number two is my unique method. I fully realize that there's a lot of people in the business/info coaching space. So I explain my system, which is called the scale framework, and I forward them over to a call to action with a comment below system for the free exact breakdown. And then I have my story, my hero story, which then shows people exactly where I started, what I've achieved, and more importantly, why I'm qualified to help them because I've once been in the same shoes as them. What this does for you is each of your ideal clients, whenever they visit your profile, they're silently always asking these 3 questions. Can this person get me results? Do they have proof of the fact that they can get me results? Can I trust them enough to pay them? And my pinned 3 videos strategically answer these on autopilot, no matter which corner of the world I'm in, whether I'm online, offline, dancing, doing whatever. I'm a bad dancer, I promise you. If I dance, it would look like I'm having a seizure. But the point of the matter is, what these do is the client case studies show I get results. My unique method breakdown explains how I can help. And then my behind the scenes story builds trust and relatability. People don't buy your offer, they buy you. That's why stories sell and facts tell. So by the time someone comments on my post, they've already seen proof. They've already seen the process. They've already seen the person behind the business. That's why they're ready to buy before we even ever speak. 95% of the time, whenever I go on a sales call, I have to spend 20 to 30 minutes. I get pretty much virtually no objections, and the people are ready to commit because they feel like through my Instagram, the way it's been strategically set up, they already know me. They built enough trust to become my clients. And that's why we get on really well and get them incredible results. Point being, the second part of this funnel is the Instagram story funnel, okay? So setters reply to all the new followers, all the new story viewers, and all the post comments. So they're constantly scanning through this, which makes their job even easier because they don't constantly have to go out there and cold DM strangers that don't know me, I don't know them. They're messaging people that have already been nurtured and built a relationship with. They use a non-pitchy framework. They only send booking links if the lead is pre-qualified. And once booked, the setter tags the closer. And I don't personally ever get involved unless it's an absolute whale and a behemoth that wants to work with me directly. As you can see, this system pretty much works like clockwork. And then finally, the setter follows the exact DM script that helps us really nurture these prospects and get them into red hot qualified buyers that are ready to convert. So before every call, the setter takes notes on exactly who this person is, feeds them over to the closer. We send them a pre-call VSL that does all the nurturing, all the heavy lifting, breaks every single limiting belief that they might have, breaks every belief about the old system that they've been using and why that stuff, doesn't work out for them anymore, and instills the new beliefs of why working with us is going to be the best choice that they ever make. And only once that happens, it removes all the objections, it builds a ton of urgency, and it gets them to a point that they're ready to convert. And as you can see, that's why the calendar is fully booked every single day without fail with at least 7 to 10 qualified sales calls. And that's why the payment processor is constantly printing new cash every single day. So what's the difference between the coaches that are barely scraping 10K months and the coaches making 30K on autopilot whilst traveling and being on vacation? Well, most coaches rely on daily story posting with crappy stories that don't even nurture. They just post their gym selfies, what they ate for lunch, what time they woke up, what time they go to sleep, things that nobody really cares about. They manually follow up with a bunch of people in the DMs. They jump on every call personally and destroy every ounce of positioning that they have, which is crap, right? And they panic whenever they take a day off because they feel like every time they take a day off, their business is going to crumble because it's built on the wrong foundation. Now, here's what I've built instead. I've built pinned posts on my Instagram that do the heavy lifting. They build trust, they show proof, they objection handle without me even needing to objection handle. Steve Jobs once said, great marketing makes sales obsolete. That's why whenever you walk into an Apple store, nobody has to sell you on buying an iPhone or an iPad or a MacBook. Chances are 95% of the time you walk in, you're ready to buy. You might just need to know which specs you want to go for. Because great marketing makes sales obsolete. That's exactly why I have story highlights that run 24/7, which I constantly update with new client testimonials and information. By the way, if you haven't already, go to my Instagram, check it out. You can literally model it for yourself. And my setters handle every DM and qualified lead without me ever needing to be there. And they don't use crappy botty scripts, which is like, hey man, I can promise you 120 appointments in the next 30 days guaranteed, or you don't pay, or I'll send a banana to your house or a pizza, none of that crap, right? That's the stuff that gets you left on scene, ghosted and aired, and nobody wants to be in that situation. And last but not least, my closer takes the calls, reframes objections, and close. My only job is to check Stripe from the beach. I'm joking. I do record content and do cool stuff, handsome, sexy, do a lot of funny shit in the process, but it makes my life a lot easier. And that's exactly what you want to do as a business owner if you want to scale way beyond $50,000 to $100,000 months while still being able to travel, while not being a slave to your business, while not constantly being, stuck inside of your business and being able to work on it. That's why I take 30-day vacations, travel the world with a one-way trip and decide when I'm going to come back whenever I feel like it, right? And that's the reason I think most of us start businesses, but we get stuck and lost in the grind. So if that currently sounds like you and you're ready to break out of that shitty cycle that nobody wants to be in, you can book in a call below and have me audit your business for a very limited time. You will not speak to my closers, you'll speak to me directly. Or just check out my Instagram, duplicate some of the stuff that I do. There's a lot of great stuff over there. Or alternatively, click off this video and just stay stuck behind your laptop screen, hoping and wishing that one day you might see a beach.